What's up, YouTube? Long time no see. I have been slacking on the channel. I haven't been posting anything. I've just been busy living life, doing just different things. But I'm here and something different. I bought a new project car. The M3 that I had, that you probably mostly see on this channel, is gone. I parted it out, sold everything. It just wasn't practical for where I was at in life anymore. I've got 2 kids, wife, just trying to have a car I can enjoy with them, and caged M3, manual, everything. Like, it's just like, the car was too far gone. It wasn't much of a car anymore. It wasn't enjoyable. So I started a new project with my family, and this is it. I'll take you for a quick little walk around. I made some videos. I probably will like kind of insert them here. I never actually finished anything, but I'm gonna get you caught up to speed real quick. One of the coolest things about this car is, actually it's not that cool, but hear me out. So without giving anything too much away yet, this is the door handle. That's one of the craziest things to me. It's like you don't even see it in here, but yep. So just to start off, manual windows on this car, which is pretty cool. We got a manual sunroof up here, and some pretty decently clean brown interior. You might notice there's a little bit of a hole right here, but it's a tight fit in the garage. Hopefully you can see it. I'm not about to open the door, but here is my 1978 BMW 530i, otherwise known as an e12. And again, even maybe as I'm talking right now, I'll probably upload more like videos, whatever.
What are you doing?
We're unloading your new car. Keep going. What do you think? Okay. Oh, it works. This one does that.
Yeah, that is right. And then the one next to it does this one probably. Don't go too far in case you get stuck.
That one gets stuck.
Mine. Don't do that again.
What?
Wait, awful noise. Okay.
There's a lights knob. I don't know what that does.
Is it out of gas?
Potentially. No, there's gas in it. Does the headlights work? One of them works, I think. stinks because there's no like cats or exhaust. The exhaust dumping right underneath your feet.
I kind of like it.
Is it blowing?
I think so.
Yeah, air's coming out.
Okay. It's on cold right now because I like.
Yeah. So, I mean, air moves. Justin's here. Justin. Passenger mirror is crazy.
Yeah, that's a weird.
I had no clue where I was. Like, that's crazy. I drove it.
Yeah,
First time.
it moves. It moves.
The car currently does not have a motor in it. It came with an M30 B30 with a blown head gasket and a manual, or I'm sorry, an automatic transmission that only went in reverse. So the plan was fix head gasket, manual swap, or at least fix the 3 HP 22 transmission that came in it. But further research, these cars came with a thing called a thermal reactor. Instead of a catalytic converter, they did some other crazy thing. Essentially, they just pumped a bunch of heat back into the engine head. And from my understanding, they all cracked, all made the head and like the heads fail. So it's not just a head gasket. It's probably a new head, which is fine, not the end of the world. But while in the process of parting out the M3, I kept the motor and the transmission with the idea that it would fit inside of here. So I pulled the motor, pretty straightforward. And here's the S52. S52, manual 5-speed, should go in here. I thought it would be easy, but I think I'm mistaken. I kind of just assumed, like, similar to E30s, you do the E34 front sump oil pan, it'll clear the frame, subframe. No. Well, yes and no. It's not as simple. Like, it did clear, but I'm not gonna be able to run a front sway bar, which is not the end of the world. A lot of people don't run them, so that's easy. I've been kind of just guessing. I had to cut a little bit of the trans tunnel, which is fine. Some key things. Actually, I'll just show you all the parts. I'll just start showing you what I've been accumulating for this. It's gonna be hard to see, but I got some Schmiedman E30 swap headers. Essentially, any shorties would work. My Euro headers, I was very excited to use them. That's what I had on the M3, but they hit the pitman arm. There was no way around it. They hit every which way. I had somewhat of a solution, I thought. This is actually a center rack from an E28, and I notched the pitman arm a little bit to make it fit. The the connection here, the bushing is over on the outside, where on the E12 it's on the inside. So I thought like it would end up like not bind up so much. It's hard to say. Maybe I'll put a video in here of where it was hitting. Maybe it won't. But that didn't work. So I got shorty headers, and I'll just have to go over it, which I put the motor in. That is fine. So that's one of the probably the most important things. Shorty headers. That helps. I'm gonna have to do custom mounts. I was really hoping I could do some BMW magic and just do like, oh, you know, a motor arm from the E36 just like lines right up. It doesn't. Not the end of the world. Brake booster with the motor test fitted in, it was close. It might fit, it might not fit, but I have a solution for that. I do plan on running full E36 air conditioning system on this car. I was gonna run my Chase Bay's radiator, but I think it's slightly too big. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to put the condenser in front of it, but a stock E12 or E36 radiator will fit fine here with the condenser. Sway bar is sitting here, but it's not connected or anything. That's just, I literally just unbolted it, and that's that. The wiring harness, I'm going to try to use as much of the wiring harness from this, but I also am going to be running the ECU clearly from the S52. I'm going to put like the, get rid of this block off plate. Everything's going back to, I'm going to have power steering. I'm going to have a car again, which like this thing was not a car. Like the M3 was not a car. It was just like a tin can on wheels. But yep, gonna get rid of this, and I'll take you to the back and I'll kind of show you. Oh, actually, this is cool. I bought this off of eBay. Show you this real quick. This whole wiring diagram, laminated everything for the E12. I thought that was pretty neat. But this is where things get interesting. Also, the whole front of the car is off. I don't know if you're really paying attention to that, but I'll be doing the drilling out the shocks for the bumper to compress them, to get rid of those big old bumpers. This is where things get a little bit interesting. Got a bunch of parts. One of the biggest things, which is actually what I'm going to tackle right now, is subframe from an E28. So to make an E36 happy, or S52, or probably any like somewhat like modern BMW, they need a speed signal from the differential. The E12 does not have an input to measure the speed from the differential. I read somewhere that essentially the ECU will be happy with any like RPM, so you can plug into the camshaft sensor, I think is what I read, cam or crankshaft sensor, one of the two, and it'll essentially see like, okay, there's a rotation, I'm happy and I won't put you in limp mode. I'm not positive about that. But this car, E12, came with a side loader diff, I believe they called it. I'll show you real quick. So this is the side loader diff. It's way different shape than what you're used to, completely different. I'm pulling this entire subframe. So from my research, I was under the impression that I could just do an E28 subframe with essentially an E28 differential or an E30 differential or a Z3 differential. From my understanding, they all were the same, which is true. But when people on the internet say subframe, they're not talking about just the metal subframe like I was thinking of. I thought I was going to be able to just buy this guy here, put a E30 diff in it, which is easily accessible, and everything else would just line up. Plus, or minus a few things that I was already well aware of. The sway bar does not match up anymore, which there's a solution to that. E-brake lines don't quite work the same, which e-brake lines kind of stumped me, but the more I researched, the more that the e-brake lines made sense. The entire rear end has to be swapped. The axles, the hubs, the trailing arms, like the whole thing has to be swapped over, which I guess the hubs and trailing arms are one piece, but that doesn't matter. So it's the entire rear end has to be swapped over from an E28. So I got an entire rear end from an E28. I was going to buy a parts car.
I didn't feel like dealing with people. I was gonna buy, I mean, you can buy them for $600 all day long, E28s, nobody cares about them. But I'm gonna walk over here. I didn't do that. I just bought them all on eBay because people were. So now I have this E28 rear end. I've got an E30 diff that I got. I'm gonna have to change this front cover. This is an E30 cover. The E28 is different, and you have to get the center mount, which I'll show you later. We got the trailing arms. Hubs are good. The bearings are good. We got that. That'll be all freshened up. The subframe back there that I already showed you. Now I gotta walk back around because I realized I have the other piece of it over here. And I have some E28 axles that are all like actually freshly rebuilt. They're very nice. I will also need to do somewhere in this pile. There are brake lines. These are brake lines from a Volkswagen that I found on a forum that essentially said like these will fix. These will like work instead of the E12, E28 lines. So that's what I'm tackling now. But I'm just gonna run you through everything else real quick. I have new tensioner set up, gaskets and everything for the new headers, bolts, some exhaust hangers. I don't know what that, just, those are like door things that were like 30 cents, so I bought them. We've got, I want to say N54 studs. They have a Torx end on them instead, so they're easier to install. I don't even know it's half these boxes anymore. New fuel pump. We've got two. Oh, never mind. This is for the X3. That's not even for this car. Oh, yeah. And I kind of skipped over the E34 oil pump. So that is a whole thing. If you're familiar with E30 swaps, you have to do a different front sump. So this is just like the gaskets and stuff. You do that. This is going to be for the oil pump because it's like to back out. Water pump. The car wasn't automatic, so that's that. This is a gasket for the oil pan. I have a new dipstick tube with a dipstick somewhere in this pile. We've got bushings for the subframe. This is for the X3. This is the stabilizer. Oh yeah, this is the oil pump pickup. I don't know if I'm going to need this, but I'm running, I found from an E30 swap, I found people saying that on E30s, you can run an E90 booster, but I also found people saying you can run an E30 booster on an E12. So I'm going to try to run this E90 booster from an E12. I even actually have a reservoir. This isn't the reservoir that I have, but I have another reservoir for my BMW 2002 that apparently fits on here. Helps out with that, which is here. Sorry. Essentially just takes up less room in the engine bay. Don't know if I'll need it, but they're like 20 bucks. So I bought it just in case when I got there. I'm ready. I got a new pitman arm because I actually cut the other pitman arm too far. But that's kind of thermostat. This is like the most basic way to describe what I'm doing. It's pretty simple if you do break it down. E28 rear end, I can run any diff, and I can get to use the entire wiring harness. Actually, that's not even, sorry, I got wiring harnesses. This is the M3 wiring harness. It's a mess, but they all are. Run that wiring harness, be able to connect to the diff over there. I don't think if there's anything else I need to tell you about. So that will be the rear end. Ooh, drive shafts. I might do a custom one, but I also have a few options. I think an E46 drive shaft would work from my understanding. I'm gonna have to see how that diff fits in there because the input shaft is longer, which I think is a good thing. It'll give what I need. Yeah, this is my can of worms that I have opened. Let's get to it.